do the pie. Now, for money's sake, and sometimes I do think frozen can be better than fresh if it's come from far away, but the blueberry pie I do use frozen, otherwise it'd be like a $30 pie. But we're gonna do the crust first. So the crust is so easy, you will freak out. 2 cups of almonds, again it's after they've been soaked.
Do you buy your almonds in bulk?
I was just saying I don't like to because I've gotten some bad batches. You don't know how long they've been sitting around. I mean, it was amazing how bad it was. And it was right before a workshop, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I mean, they were just all bad. And that was almonds, which you normally don't get. Now, you guys know almonds aren't really truly raw anymore because of the legislation that they passed. I always do the nuts by themselves first to get them chopped up. And it depends on what, you know, consistency you like. You always want to have a spatula because you'll just scrape the sides.
Did you say all the rest?
It's a half a cup. So 2 cups of almonds, half a cup of dates.
And they've been soaked?
And they've been soaked to soften them.
Overnight or just for?
No, just when I got here. They usually say 15 minutes is fine. I usually do maybe a little longer than that, but what I typically do is kind of figure out what recipes I'm going to want to make that week and make a shopping list from those, and then have like the other things for your salads or things like that. Yes, the master chef that I learned from, she froze everything. I've never frozen the lasagna, but I'm sure the pies would freeze okay. The only thing I worry about is everything is high water content. So I think the crust would get mushy. That she was just saying that it's going to be loud for a second. So that's it. There's a million crust recipes. This was the first one I tried. It was easy, and that's your crust. So you just take your pie pan. I'll just need this back. Okay. And I just use the palm of my hand, but you just make it into your crust. What?
I'm sorry? That's how I was feeling about this pie. I think it's going to be really good.
So good. It's so good. And I get so mad at my one daughter because she steals my crust off mine all the time, and that's the best part. So again, I'm a raw food chef, not a culinary chef, so presentation might not be my specialty, but next we're going to do the blueberries. With the bag, I leave a cup out, about a cup.
You thawed those.
About 3/4, yes, yes. And if you don't, it won't set up well. Okay, so definitely, and you definitely want to drain the juice also. Otherwise, again, it will be too juicy to really set up. So blueberries, and I've set some aside, about 3/4 cup or so. 2 ripe bananas. Ripe, anything that's ripe is already, again, almost pre-digested, easier. It's more alkalizing to the body, and of course it's sweeter. And then I'm going to use raw honey for sweetener, about 1.5 tablespoons. And then I have a little secret. Don't tell anybody. I add a little psyllium to it. It's a thickening agent and it's a good fiber. You don't need it to have it set up, but it's my secret.
Now this is obviously a dessert, so do you not have
Oh, you can have it for breakfast. Are you kidding me? Or dinner or lunch. Truly, I will say to my girls, you want some pie for breakfast? Or if, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I guess what I was getting at was
sorry.
The fruit, you know, I've read that you should
Eat it
fruit
alone.
and before everything else. So
Yeah, you know, everyone's different. I personally never had issues. I think when there's diabetes issues and stuff like that, it's better to have it with the protein so it doesn't spike up. Blueberries are lower on the glycemic index, but I never had issues. If you feel you're eating fruit with stuff and you're getting bloating or stuff like that, then
I think that's more eating fruit with protein and carbs. If you're doing the fruit with the nuts or the fruit with the vegetables, I think you're okay. I think it's like, you know, I think what it means is, you know, don't have fruit. Typically, if you go to like a breakfast buffet, you're going to have fruit and scrambled eggs and things like that. It actually putrefies in the stomach and creates acidity.
And I think if you have things that you're eating things that it takes longer to process.
That's exactly
Then
right
it-
too.
you can
Right, you've
start
got different
getting-
enzymes processing different foods.
Different pace, different times, and it just
Right.
doesn't work out real well in your system.
with honey, always make sure it says raw. This is actually from Durham, so supporting local.
And preferably local honey.
And local honey, which I didn't realize helps with your allergies. Yes.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Okay, so you blend this up. About a teaspoon and a half. My secret ingredient, about a teaspoon and a half. Can't taste it. You can put a little more than that though.
Okay.
Yeah. You can dip it in there so it doesn't all pour out. That's okay.
Didn't know if you were a dipper in or.
So after you've blended that up, you take the whole blueberries that you've left out and add those. This recipe again is on my website, rawinanutshell.com. So I just take the blade out instead of wasting another bowl to dirty. I just mix it up in here, because then we get every drop of goodness. So you just stir the blueberries in, and that's it. And then you just pour it in your pie crust. It does take a couple hours to set up. So we will be having this last with our lasagna, but I'm sure none of you will forget about it though. And that's it. Easy as pie. All right, so I'm going to just stick this in the fridge and we'll see it in a couple hours.